Just a minute, please. We were at the point of you wanted to introduce some exhibits, photographic exhibits.
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I have my finger on the button.
Go ahead, Mr.
No.
No, I particularly said had.
I give those instructions, not you.
Yes,
Okay.
sorry, Your Honor.
Let's.
Mr. Chair.
Can I stand, sir?
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, if you're lawyers, we have some concerns here from this morning. Mr. Peters have been using prisoners' file, personal files, and we're very concerned about that. We believe it's unfair. One incident, he was able to cross-examine the witness by saying whatever medical condition would have happened via the whatever transfer on March 3rd. We have the view that it's unfair, and even if he wants to use it, it should be made available for all of us.
Those files are part of his brief, and he has a right to maintain lawyer and client confidence.
Yes, sir, but the prison authority, they are using documents that in their position only because
How do you know that?
of their position.
How do you know that?
Sir, the document was here this morning.
Well, what's wrong with that, really?
Sir, I think it's
You
unfair.
want him to show the other side his brief?
If they're going to use personal documents from without the permission of the clients, of the witnesses, and without they being aware of it, documents that are only in the prison in the prison authority possession only because they are prisoners.
Let me hear you, mister.
Mr. Chairman, my response is exactly what you just mentioned, solicitor-client privilege. I have a prison officer just beside me that advised me. And as you see, a prison officer has custody of their files. I don't have their files. Any document that the commission determines to be relevant, at the point where disclosure is required from me is if I'm prepared to tender a document as an exhibit, then I should disclose it to all parties.
That's right.
Mr. Chairman, its possession is not only physical in the sense that it's in front of counsels. Yes, he obviously has access to it. And my Bar Association's particular concern is that there were references to medical conditions. Now, they state any information on a patient, whether the patient is a prisoner, prison officer, whatever, is a matter for doctor-client privilege, and it cannot and ought not to be used by anyone. An attorney doesn't get privilege out of being shared information improperly. And the only condition under which that can possibly happen is if there is a waiver by the person, by the patient, and I am not aware of any such waiver on this occasion, sir.
You agree this is not the High Court of Justice?
Sir, we got to be careful
No,
because
yeah,
it will...
No, just answer me.
Of course I do.
Okay, good.
And you've asked me that question, and
Yeah.
I tried to be as polite.
Well-
But it touches... We are talking about legal professional privilege and legal ethics, and we're ready to breach medical ethics. it doesn't speak well of any of us in this room, whether counsel advancing it or counsel on this side, commissioners, that we are witnessing silently such breaches of ethics from whatever source.
These documents are part of his brief. And I think at some stage,
Is it the profile document though, sir?
just a minute.
Is it profile document? Clarification, is it profile?
These medical reports, these medical reports, so I will make sure that you get copies of them. They need to be done today.
But sir, I do not wish. The Bar Association will not be requesting medical reports on anyone unless it comes here and is tendered by someone who is a party to that privilege. I don't think we can do it.
You want to exclude it? The reason why these 17 people are dead, you want to exclude that from this
Not at all.
investigation?
Not at all.
But that's what it amounts to.
No, don't lose your cool, sir. You're aware that we have an application before this tribunal, and you indicated that you need it until Monday.
Yes.
So, so
Well-
any attempt by
At this stage.
Sidewin
At this
try
stage.
to put anything.
Okay, I agree with you. We'll wait until Monday.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So if I may, I know I may not have, but I wish to,
You need a.
because
You need a mic.
my purpose here is not a team joining the Bar Association. And I understand in its context that all the attorneys at law may have different interests or representing different interests here. But I am corrected, and I respectfully ask, if I'm wrong, and I stand correct, that one would want to inquire into the truth as to what really happened. And the challenge that I have representing the deceased and injured is that the prison and police would have in their purview or within their ambit documents that counsel is skillfully using for the sole purpose of, one, discrediting the evidence or the statements of these prisoners. And the issue of being fair is that if those documents do exist, one would expect that those documents are circulated with the other attorneys so that if I needed to have further instructions from my clients in relation to what is or what will come before the commission, that they must have the opportunity to say that. And while I appreciate that the commission has a wider discretion and it's not a court of law, I still ask and beg that it is an issue of fairness that things are going to be produced either through cross-examination or what counsel makes reference to, and we have not had an opportunity to look at it. We have not had an opportunity to hear the side of our clients. And I have looked at least from 2 witnesses who have stood in that box. And it is not for the purpose of, I think, discrediting or inconsistency of their statements. I believe it's an issue in which the understanding is lacking. And I would like, if counsel has intention, especially for the interests in which I represent, to have their documents and their medicals and reports from the police and from the fire service as it pertains to my client. It is only fair that I have an opportunity to look at that, and so that I be able to even frame my cross-examination in assisting the commission to get to the truth. One party should not in any way dominate the entire proceedings. So that
What do you mean by that?
And I wish to go down to explain that by domination I am talking about having all the documents and the reports from the police and the fire service and from the prison, having all the documents available to him, and it's not made available to us.
What if those documents are privileged?
But I would respectfully, sir, and with great respect to your chairmanship, I would wish that the issue of the application of counsel, as those a number of documents would have been listed, that the commission rules based on submissions as to what are privileged documents and what are not privileged documents, and so that we have an understanding. Because for me, all I was being given by the commission are statements from the witnesses being brought before them.
Which don't obtain in the normal proceedings in the High Court. You don't hand over each other's brief.
You may not hand over each other's brief.